Hi YouTube! I'm coming on here with another video. Long time no see to the YouTube channel, but I really wanted to make this video. I am a mother of a 4-month-old baby. My husband and I just had a baby. And since I've given birth to her, I have learned a lot, and I just have it in my heart to share some things with expectant moms, new moms, even not new moms, because I definitely believe that as mothers we're always learning, we're always learning more. And yeah, I think that if I would have been more prepared, should I not say that? I think that if I would have been more educated and known more, that some things would have gone more smoothly for me. So I want to be that person to educate someone out there. So yeah, I guess I'll just start with my pregnancy. So I got married to my husband November 2021, and we went on our vacation. We went on our honeymoon to Puerto Rico, and we're assuming that on that honeymoon is when I got pregnant, because after we got married I didn't get another period. So in December my period was 9 days late, and I just knew in my heart that I had a baby. And it was so funny because literally my older sister and my husband's older sister both had just recently gotten pregnant, and now we were actually, I remember we were actually at my husband's sister's gender reveal for her baby, and at the gender reveal we were thinking I might be pregnant because my period was late, and then soon after that, I think a few days later, I took the test and it was positive. So I was so happy. We didn't plan to have a baby that soon, but we also weren't trying not to, so I was just happy. I felt like it was just a blessing from God, and I was just excited, and I just loved the baby. Just loved the baby from the moment that I realized that she was inside of me. I just love her so much. Still love her, obviously. But I had an amazing pregnancy. Anyways, August 22nd at night, I go into labor. I was in labor throughout the night, and I gave birth to her on August 23rd, around noontime, 12:14 p.m. And I feel like this lighting is weird. It's okay. I figured, why not wear a robe, fresh out the shower, for a topic like this, because postpartum, you gotta be comfy, even though I'm 4 months postpartum, but we're pretending, Anyways, so when I was pregnant, I didn't take the time to do any birthing classes. I just feel like, I don't know if it's my personality or just that I really do trust God so much, but I was just super chill. It's interesting because my whole life I actually felt a little fear, definitely, about giving birth, and I think a lot of girls and young ladies and women in general feel that way. They're oh my gosh, pushing a baby out. I remember I would think about it and it would hurt to think about it. I was but as the day approached, I actually read an amazing book that I recommend called Supernatural Childbirth. So I will link it down below. But that helped me a lot, and the closer I got to the day, the more peace I just felt. I was I got this, God's got me. And really my thinking about labor is that it's a natural process. It's your body is doing it, right? So it's nothing that is external that's harming you. It's just a process that your body has to go through. It's a natural process that women all throughout history have gone through, and it's not something that's against you or attacking you, but it's something that is bringing forth life, and it's just a process. So I think like having that view, plus what I've read in that book, and just maybe partnered with my personality being kind of chill, and then also just my trust and faith in Jesus to, you know, show up for me, and comfort me in that time. All of that together, like, I feel like that mindset definitely helps me to be able to get through my labor. I opted for an all-natural birth with no pain medication. And let me tell you, there was a point during my labor where I was like, I totally understand why people get an epidural. Because the contractions got intense, dude. Got intense. But let me tell you, after I gave birth, I felt amazing. Like, I was like, I can do anything. I was like, I'm so glad that's over, but I feel like I can do literally anything. I felt like Superwoman. But my whole point was that, sorry, I kind of got sidetracked there. My whole point was that during my pregnancy, I really didn't research much. I didn't research about breastfeeding. I didn't research about a birth plan. Like, not a birth, like, I didn't take birthing classes, is what I'm trying to say. I just was a first-time mom, 22 years old, just went for it. Like, I just knew that God got me, and he did. But if I had been more educated, I think some things would have gone a lot smoother, and I'm going to share about those today. 1, breastfeeding. I recommend anyone who is planning on breastfeeding for the first time to just simply educate themselves on it. I had, hope this isn't TMI, I had 6 weeks, I believe, of painful nipples. Not fun. I had moments of crying about it. I had moments of wanting to give up. I had a lot of moments, you know. It kind of just leads into my next point of, once you have a baby, your whole life shifts. And I just want to share to whoever is listening that might be an expectant mom, you will adjust. You will adjust. The beginning, the first 2 weeks or so, are an adjustment period. And besides learning about breastfeeding before you have the baby, I think I want to just share that you should be able to rest and take it easy, because learning how to breastfeed and being responsible for a baby being fed, a baby who cries, a baby who has needs, that is completely dependent on their caregivers, that is a lot of work in itself. And you don't want to feel like on top of that you have all these other tasks to do, because I experienced that. I experienced feeling like there was so much to do, and then I found myself in this place where I'm like, whoa, like, I just felt like I was so busy, and I had like very little time to myself. Like, just taking a shower for myself was like a moment that I could spend on myself. And it was just a huge adjustment from living this life with my husband, just kind of doing what I want, you know, throughout the day, going on my phone, you know, just spend some time with God, just taking a drive, going on a walk, just like having your mind thinking about whatever. Like, now it's like, whoa, now it's all about this baby, and it's an amazing time. It's so beautiful, and there's so many good things I want to share. But now I know for my next baby, and I hope this helps you for if you're like pregnant or whatever, like whoever's listening, that just take it slow. you need help. You need your partner or someone else to do other things for you, like prepare food for you to eat, especially since obviously your body is healing, so you can't be running around doing all these things. Like literally, if you just think about it, it's like there's only so much time in a day. You need to feed the baby, you need to change your pad throughout the day because you're likely bleeding. You need to get rest because you're likely tired. You need to take a shower because you're bleeding. And yeah, it's just how it is. Like, you need to do certain things, and other things you need other people to do. Because if you're doing it all yourself, you may get stressed out. You know, I definitely believe that God wants us not to take too much on our own plate, but to rest and to ask for help when we need it. I really personally didn't find that taking care of the baby became too much for me at all. It was just the fact of like also taking care of myself in those first couple weeks or so. Like being in that state, I now know that it would be more helpful to like have more people around me to help me, like more women, or just, I guess it's just really important to communicate with your partner, with your significant other. Like, hey, I need help. Because if you think about it, right, like as a man, as a partner, as a husband, I don't know why I'm saying partner, like, yeah, I guess, okay, as a husband, as a partner, I don't know why I got caught up on that, I'm sorry. So as a husband, they may not realize how much work it is to simply be feeding the baby. And okay, here's a whole nother thing, right? I didn't know that your breasts could leak milk. I was like, I had sore nipples. Okay, I had leaking. I had all these things going on that I didn't have nursing bras. I didn't know how to control the leaking, so I literally would walk around with either no shirt on, like, sorry if this is TMI, or I would walk around obviously like in the privacy of my room, or I would walk around like I would have to hold a shirt away from my body because it would hurt if something would touch it. And these are things that nobody told me about. No one. But again, like, I should have researched it, or now I know, like, I wish I did. The leaking. Okay. Your body, like, overproduces at first, and something that I realized afterward, too, a huge reason why I probably overproduce so much milk is because at the hospital, they asked me to pump all this milk out, and that sends a signal to your body to produce a lot more. So I was pumping a lot more than a newborn baby would naturally drink in the first couple of days. So when my milk came in on the third day, it was like all this extra, plus the fact that they gave me a shot of Pitocin, which is synthetic oxytocin in your body, and that's another hormone or chemical that sends signals to your body to create milk. So like, I believe that besides my own natural production, those two things made my breast very engorged and made me leak so much for a while. I think I was leaking for the first 6 weeks. Now it only happens if my baby is latched onto one side, the other side will leak. But I have a system down where I have breast pads in, and it's so much better because I don't have sore nipples or cracked or bleeding nipples anymore. So yeah, it's not that it has to be this way for you. And what I really don't like is when there's so much negativity surrounding the idea of motherhood in our society, because it's not negative, it's beautiful. But it just helps to be educated, and it helps to have help around you. So my tips so far: learn about breastfeeding. Don't take too much on yourself. Just take care of your own body and your baby and rest, And yeah, like if you need to hire a doula, if you have the money for that, or invite trusting, helpful family over, ask your partner for more help if you feel like you need more help. All of those things can really, really help. Another thing is that during the first 2 weeks postpartum, your hormones are adjusting back, being not pregnant anymore. So you can go through like different feelings and moods. I did experience like certain moments where I was like, I kind of feel sad right now, but I knew that it was the hormones because my amazing pastor, my pastor Hazel Mickle from Grace Nation, she had let me know that she's like, the hormones may come, but as a believer, we don't need to let it get the best of us. And I remembered those words and I was like, this is just hormones. You know, you might cry easily and feel sad sometimes. Hormones are very powerful, but they adjust, and you know, it's not the same thing as what people call postpartum depression. Yeah. What else? Let me think. So just know these things. Just be educated, because if you expect certain things, then when they come, you'll be like, okay, I got this. Like, for example, with the hormone thing, if nobody told me that, I might not have realized that it was hormonal, you know? And I might have been like more prone to kind of give into my emotions and let it make me spiral into like a sadness, rather than just brushing it off and being like, this will pass, you know? Something amazing I experienced was a closeness to God after I gave birth. And I know your body gets flooded with oxytocin, which is the love hormone. So like, I wonder if that was connected to it. I'm sure it was, but like when I would pray, I would just like know God was listening, and like I always know God is listening, but like I would like feel him, and I would like, I'm telling you though, he drew close to me in this time. He was my comfort. I was clinging to him because I did have some hard moments, and I think as time passes, like we tend to forget like those difficult moments, but I'm here to remember them so that I can help a woman who might be going through it, you know, or help prevent a woman from going through certain things. So yeah, those are my tips for postpartum. Just if you have moments like when the baby is sleeping, if you're tired, take a nap, you know. They say that nesting happens in like the 9th month of pregnancy. I experienced that, but I actually experienced a similar phenomenon once I had the baby. I started like everything, like I just went into like mom mode, like it just kicked into gear. Like I wanted to like organize everything and like clean everything and just go. But what's it called? I just recommend napping while the baby naps. And like I said, receive help from people. Receive help with the things you really need help with. If you would really like for somebody to come over and do your laundry, if you would really like for somebody to wash the dishes, if you would really like for somebody to cook for you, ask them to do that. They might want to hold the baby or do this or that, but maybe you want to spend that time with the baby while they do something else. Like, I don't know, I saw a video on Facebook of a lady saying that, something like that, and I was like, that's so true, because like people want to help, but sometimes they don't know the way that would most help you. And I think that in that season of postpartum, you should be served. You should be cared for. You should be taken care of. You should be helped tremendously, because you your body has just gone through a labor. You are now the primary caregiver of your baby. You and your husband, but the mother tends to nurture a lot, and then especially if you're breastfeeding, you're just naturally spending a lot more time caring for the baby's needs. And it can feel like a lot at first, but it is very rewarding to have that closeness with the baby. And again, you adjust. I would recommend taking a lot of things home from the hospital for healing for down there. You'll heal quickly in Jesus' name, but in the first couple weeks, you know, I use Tylenol every 6 hours. That's what I did. But just rest. Like, I feel like the ideal thing would just be to take care of your baby and rest. And it might sound like that's not realistic, but honestly, if you have people helping you, why not? Like, why do you need to be running around doing all this extra stuff when you're already getting up in the middle of the night to help your baby? Like, you're doing a lot in those first couple weeks, and even just as a mother, like weeks and months and years beyond that. So take that time to receive help. Don't get mad at people if they're not helping you the way that you desire, right? As a Christian, you know, God is my help. Like, the Lord is my help. And we don't need to be all grumpy all the time. Like, you can go through this gracefully, and you will. But if you are fortunate enough to have those people around you, take advantage of it and express your needs. Express and communicate your needs to them. And if you feel like you don't have those people around you, man, I recommend getting into a really good church, and I bet you'll find some amazing people that would be willing. But again, if you feel like you don't have those people around you, pray for God to send those people for that period, because it's just a very vulnerable period of time, the postpartum period. And you will learn so much, you will experience so much. Like, I just remember saying in that time, like, wow, this is what women go through. I respect moms so much more now after having gone through this. Like, I just remember being like, wow, I didn't know much about life before I experienced this. Now I know what people go through as parents. Like, this is amazing. Like, what people are able to go through. Like, this is a lot, man. This is a lot of work. And, like, yeah. But I remember also feeling, and this is, like, again, everybody's experience is different. I remember also feeling maybe like a month in that I felt very adjusted. I felt so much more adjusted. And I think as time went on, it got more and more, like, better for me. But as a Christian, like, you don't have to view pregnancy as a negative thing. You don't have to view being a mother as a horribly demanding thing. Like, view it as you're doing it unto the Lord. I serve my baby, and it's unto the Lord, because her soul belongs to Him. I'm stewarding a life that God has entrusted me with, and it's really a blessing. And it's very selfless, but that's what makes us more like Jesus, is when we experience being selfless and we experience caring for others, you know? And it's just community is just so important. You need that good community around you. Honestly, I respect doulas. I recommend a doula. I don't know if I'm gonna get one for my next pregnancy and postpartum period, but honestly, that would have been really nice. Anyways, this video is getting way too long, so I'm gonna end it here. But I just thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps somebody, and I just pray that everybody has amazing pregnancies and labors in Jesus' name without fear. Have a great rest of your day, night, and I'll see you guys soon. Well, you'll see me. I might not see you.